Hello, I'm Peggy Cook. I'm a branch manager and regional coordinator with the Pioneer Library System. Welcome to our program today. Today we have Ed Wunch, who is an attorney with Legal Aid Services of Oklahoma, who's going to be talking to us about understanding and benefiting from unemployment support, talking about unemployment issues and COVID-related unemployment issues. We greatly appreciate the partnership between Legal Aid Services of Oklahoma and the Pioneer Library System, and we hope to expand on this. We have programs in our YouTube channel that will be active, and we hope to add to those throughout the coming years. So please stay informed and up to date with these latest of these programs. We appreciate this partnership very much. A little bit about Mr. Wunch, his distinguished career. He's a staff attorney with Legal Aid Services of Oklahoma, and he joined that group in 2016. His practice covers a variety of areas of law, including family law, public benefits, consumer law, and civil rights litigation. Mr. Wunch is a member of LASSO's statewide unemployment task force. He is chair of the Oklahoma Bar Association Law Day Committee. He received his BA magna cum laude from the University of California, Los Angeles in 2010, and his JD from the University of California, Irvine in 2013. Thank you so much for being here with us today, Mr. Wunch, and we look forward to hearing what you have to share with us.
Well, thank you so much, Peggy. It's so great to be here with you today. I'm, again, a staff attorney at Legal Aid Services of Oklahoma, and I'm here to provide you with an unemployment benefit update. First off, a couple of caveats here. While I'm going to be providing general information, every case is different. Your case could be unique compared to the information presented here. The good news is that Legal Aid Services of Oklahoma does assist with unemployment, and our assistance is free. If you cannot resolve your issues on your own, please contact Legal Aid and ask for our assistance. I'll provide the contact information for Legal Aid Services of Oklahoma at the end of the presentation. Additionally, I should mention that unemployment issues change often in this very unique time we're all living through. I've strived to make this presentation as accurate as possible, even though the rules change often. For example, less than 24 hours before recording this, several unemployment rules were changed as part of a 5,000-page bill that contained about as many words as the entire works of Shakespeare. I've included some limited information from that legislation, and I've marked the changes with an asterisk throughout the presentation. Before talking about COVID-related unemployment, it's important to understand the basics of unemployment. So what are traditional unemployment benefits, sometimes called UI or UC? It's a program that lasts for 26 weeks. You get 26 weeks of benefits, and it's paid for by employer taxes paid to the state of Oklahoma. It's only for those people that lose their job due to no fault of their own. So again, your employer closes, you're laid off, your hours are cut back. Those are individuals who qualify for unemployment. Someone who quits or is fired generally does not qualify for unemployment. Unemployment is different from other benefits programs like food stamps and disability that are paid monthly. Unemployment's paid weekly. Additionally, every week when you're filing for benefits, you have to certify that you're looking for a job. I mentioned weeks several times, and we really need to focus on the importance of weeks. When you file for benefits initially, that is called an initial claim. Weekly claims, though, are how you get paid unemployment benefits. Like in food stamps, once you're approved, you generally just start getting benefits. Whereas here with unemployment, you file your initial claim, and that can get approved, but if you're not filing weekly claims, you won't get paid. Weeks run Sunday through Saturday, and you file weekly claims for the prior week. The first week is generally not paid, although that was a little bit different earlier in the year. Right now, the first week is not paid. And again, you must file your weekly claims even while waiting for approval of benefits. For example, let's say I file for unemployment benefits. I filed my initial claim on December 1st, 2020. That was a Tuesday. The week of November 29th through December 5th, I would not be paid for that week. The week of December 6th through December 12th could be paid if I filed my weekly claim either by phone or online December 13th or soon after. So again, I completed the entire week of being unemployed from December 6th through December 12th. And then the following Sunday, December 13th, I tried to file my claim online or by phone. So now that we understand the basics of unemployment, let's talk about some of the different programs that we have here. So for example, with traditional unemployment, again, that's for those who are unemployed due to no fault of their own. They're laid off, their hours are cut back, their employer closes. In order to get those benefits, you have to have earned enough money during the right period of time in the past 18 months from the right kind of employer. Generally, employers that report your wages by W-2, give you a W-2 at the end of the year, those are also the same sorts of employers that generally will allow you to qualify for unemployment benefits. For traditional unemployment, it doesn't require a COVID-related reason. If you're laid off in 2019 before the pandemic, you could have filed for unemployment without any COVID-related reason, and you still can now. Generally, you don't have to document your prior income because OESC tends to have those records. They will base your unemployment benefit payment on your wages, and the benefit amount could range from anywhere from $16 to $500 per week, depending on your income. You'll receive 26 weeks of benefits under traditional unemployment. Then now we have on the rest of this page a lot of new programs that got enacted this year. PEUC is a program that's basically an extension on regular benefits. That program is now going to end on April 5th. That was just extended by the recent legislation. And that gives you an additional 24 weeks of benefits after you exhaust your initial 26 weeks on traditional unemployment. You must reapply in that same UI system in order to get the PEUC payments. So you exhaust your 26 weeks, you file a new application for PEUC, and then you can keep claiming for another 24 weeks after that. Then the biggest new program that was enacted was PUA. That has also now been extended through April 5th. That is still for people who are unemployed due to no fault of their own. Generally, this is going to be for people who are self-employed, such as they receive 1099s or report self-employment income on their tax return, and they did not have enough earnings to get UI. So another example is someone who just turned 18, got their first job working at a restaurant in February of this year and got laid off in March with the pandemic. That person probably does not have enough earnings to qualify for UI, but they might fit under PUA. In order to get PUA, though, your unemployment has to be COVID related. So, for example, if your business dried up for a COVID related reason and you were self-employed, you could qualify for PUA. Versus if you just decided to stop running your business, you might not qualify for PUA. For PUA, you do have to provide income documentation, and generally that's going to be your 2019 tax return. The benefit amounts for PUA are anywhere from $189 to $500 a week, although most people are getting $189 while OESC is sorting through tax returns, and you can get PUA benefits for 50 weeks. FPUC is the last program that we've got here, and this is for anyone receiving any type of benefits on this page. They just get an additional $300 per week, and that's going to restart next week. This was the same program that earlier in the year was giving people an additional $600 per week of benefits. Now it's going to be cut back to $300 additional on top of any of the other programs on this page. There's no separate application for FPUC. It just gets lumped in with your normal payments. So now that we have an understanding of some of the programs here, you need to understand that when you're filing your weekly claims, you have to certify that you've searched for work in the past week. That requirement was waived earlier in the year, but it's now back in effect. So what does work search mean? First off, what I'm talking about here today is work search for individuals with the traditional UI benefits or PEUC. PUA has some different rules that are a little bit beyond the scope of this presentation. So for those UI and PEUC claimants, you have to make 2 work search attempts per week to continue receiving UI and PEUC. What does that look like? Let's say again, you have an unemployed waiter who calls managers at 2 local diners to see if they're hiring. If they say they are, the waiter then has to follow up with an application or an interview. If they say they're not hiring, that phone call was the work search attempt. Um, you're required to keep a log of your attempts, and I've shown you what one of those logs could look like on this page. You have to keep those records for yourself. You're not required to provide them to OESC initially, but if you get audited, and they do audit some people, then you have to provide your log of attempts to show that you did your work search. If you can't produce that log, it's possible that your benefits will be cut off, and you could be required to repay those benefits if you don't have that log. I mentioned it earlier, I can't say it enough times. You have to file your weekly claims. The most common reason I've run into why people would apply for benefits but they wouldn't receive any payments is because they filed the initial application, the initial claim, but then they didn't file their weekly claims. You need to go ahead and file those weekly claims even while you're still waiting for approval. I've had individuals that did file for weekly claims and it took months for their claim to get approved. But once it was approved, because they were filing weekly, they got lump sums of thousands of dollars that they should have been paid over the past several months while they were waiting for approval. Individuals who didn't file those weekly claims, it's then a brand new battle to see if they can backdate those prior weeks. So file your weekly claims. Another common pitfall is not reporting wages every week. If you are unemployed, you were full-time before the pandemic, but now you're getting by on unemployment, but hey, you get a part-time job and you work 5 hours every weekend. You need to report those hours and those earnings that you make that weekend on your weekly claim. OESC will will still sometimes give you your full payment, or they'll adjust your payment depending on how much money you made while working part-time. But if you don't report those wages and OESC later learns about them, that's when people's benefits tend to get cut off. You also have to report those in the week that you earn the benefits, even if you get paid every 2 weeks. So rather than a lump sum that you're reporting every other week, you have to report the wages you earn each week. Common issue that I run into is that people will get notices from OESC, but they just didn't check their mail. Everyone's getting lots of bad news in the mail these days, and I understand that it can be very distressing sometimes to even open your mail. But if you're waiting for unemployment, it's really important that you pay attention to your mail. You can find out that you're approved, and then you need to take additional steps, for example, to get your debit card. But if you're not approved, appeals have very short deadlines, often 10 days from the date of mailing. While many appeals are successful, appeals filed after a deadline generally are not. So check your mail, and if you're denied, there is an appeals process. For PUA, a common reason I see people denied PUA or their application just isn't going anywhere is because they didn't file for unemployment insurance first. PUA is a backup program for the self-employed individuals. You need to go ahead and file for regular benefits, for regular UI, even if you know that you don't qualify. If you've been self-employed your entire life, you may see no point to apply for regular UI because you know you'll be on PUA eventually. Ultimately, file for UI first, and then after it's determined you don't qualify for that, then they'll process your PUA application. Some other challenges now from OESC's end. There were definitely a lot of fraudulent claims earlier in the year where fraudsters got someone's social security number and they tried to get unemployment payments on that person's behalf, maybe while they were still working. If you're a victim of fraud where they were filing for benefits and it wasn't you filing for benefits, you can report fraud at that website. If you are in that situation and OESC is saying that we can't pay you because all of your benefits have been paid already, potentially due to fraud, OESC needs you to file that report at that website I list before they can start resolving your claim to cancel those payments out and start paying you your benefits. Additionally, OESC implemented a new identity verification system recently. Individuals have always had to verify their identity to get benefits, but now you can do that online. Still, some people are running into issues. I suggest trying online first. And if you can't verify your identity online, I suggest you call or go to your local OESC office and provide identity documents that way. You can find your local office at the website that I list on this screen. And with that, that's about all the time I have here today. Again, Legal Aid Services of Oklahoma does not pay unemployment benefits directly, but we can help you resolve your claim. If you're still running into problems, our services are free, and you can apply for our assistance by calling the number on your screen or applying online at the website listed. I should warn you that we're not taking phone applications until after January 4th, but you can still apply online during that time. And provided we have the resources available to assist you, we can provide you with free assistance to potentially help resolve your claim. I hope this information has been helpful, and I really appreciate Peggy and the entire Pioneer Library system for putting this program together.
Thank you so much. And it's such important information. We really appreciate you taking time to explain this. And I know that helps explain, your presentation actually helped explain some things that were happening for my young son earlier in the year. So it's very important information. And I do want to add also that for everyone, we hope that you can, if you need access to a computer, please visit your local public library. Pioneer Library System offers access to public computers at no cost for people. And so going to the library is a great location. And we do have some general information about unemployment, but of course the information and the details are with the official agencies, and we will help you connect with those or connect with Legal Aid Services of Oklahoma. Thank you so much today, and we really appreciate your taking time to share this information, this very timely information with us. Thank you, Mr. Wunch.
Thank you.